Hi. Welcome to Jesus Talk. Ooh, did she say Jesus? Oh, yes, she did. Jesus Christ. Jesus isn't real. Why does he let everyone suffer, huh? Jesus isn't real. It's called free will, buddy. We get to decide how we live. Jesus doesn't live for us. He died for us. Right? Does that make sense? But I don't believe in Jesus. What's he ever done for me, huh? Tell me. He freaking died for you! What do you mean, what's he ever done? Oh my God. Especially the people who don't believe. You're the ones he died for. Okay? You don't believe in him? He died just for you. Because you know what? Buddy, let me tell you something. I didn't believe in Jesus. And you know what? When I died, he still came for me. He died exactly for people who don't believe in him. Think about that. He gave his life specifically so he could save the people who don't believe in him. Think about that. I was saved a long time ago. Because I really did die. And I feel like that is such a fucked up thing to say that people will... If I heard someone say that, I would honestly be like, that bitch is crazy. Let's get her some help. But you know what? I am that crazy bitch. And I want to help everyone else. Right? Jesus talk. Welcome to the TikTok Jesus Talk. I honestly never wanted to make social media and talk about this, but I just feel like this is the fastest way in our current day and age, our current time in history and the timeline. This is the most rapid form of communication. You know what I mean? I could write a book. I want to. That's going to take years to put together. But until then, I want to build a crowd. I'm really so sad that Charlie Kirk is dead. I really am, because I feel like he united a lot of people. Especially the people who didn't like him. You were talking about what he wanted to talk about. Whether you agreed or didn't agree. And I'm really just sad. Ugh, that he's not here. I really, see, I get emotional. Fuck, don't cry, bitch. I really wanted to meet Charlie. Because I know he would have listened to my story about Jesus Christ. I know that he would have believed me. I know he would have listened to me. But he's not here anymore, you know? And I hope that there's more young people, because Charlie was younger than me. I'm a whole generation older than Charlie. You know, I think Charlie was 7 years old when 9/11 happened. I was already in high school, you know. But I hope more people, especially the young people, I feel like they're waking up, because I do see the videos all over the internet, all over TikTok, and I just want to say thank you to the creators out there who specifically make content sharing Bible verses, talking about Bible stories, talking about how it relates to their own lives, talking about how they were atheists and they were saved, talking about, here I go again, the ADD touching my hair, sorry everyone, I'm like a cat, let me lick myself. But yeah, I really appreciate when I'm, bed rotting and I doom scroll and I see those videos of people who are just so enthusiastic. They're so positive about life because they put their faith in Jesus Christ. Man, I really look horrible today. Let's hold that camera. Let's back up a few feet, But anyways, next video for sure. I won't look like Cockaface, Put the eyebrows on. You'll be able to see. You'll be able to see the progress. But enough about me. Jesus Talk. Jesus Talk. We're here to talk about Jesus, not my insecurities. But thank you, Jesus, because he helps me when I'm having a bad day. He's the first person I talk to. When I wake up every morning, I'm going through horrible shit in my life right now that I don't even want to mention. But first thing I do every morning I wake up, I thank Jesus Christ for my life, for every breath I take, for every move I make, every step I take. I hope he's watching me, you know what I mean? I want more people to celebrate Jesus Christ, you know. I've seen these videos about Poland, and in Poland, they won't let any refugees in. They won't let the Muslims in, pretty much, you know. And it's messed up because this is like a humanitarian crisis, like in Europe, Middle East, everywhere. So many people displaced. But, you know, I wholeheartedly agree with the president of Poland when he said, you know, in my country, Jesus Christ is the king. They don't want people in their country who do not have the same beliefs, who will not even assimilate, will not even become custom, will not even, you know, try to accept Christ as king, you know. And like, my hat off to the president of Poland for pretty much being the only country sticking it to the whole world, saying, no, man, no separation of church and state. Jesus Christ is the king in Poland. And honestly, my hat's off to that man for the amount of balls that dude has. I don't even know his name, I forgot. But to stand up for what he truly believes in, that he wants to live in a nation where this is Christ's kingdom, you know, here on earth. In that country, we all follow the Bible. We all believe in Jesus Christ. And you know, people in America, they get their panties in a bunch. They, you know, I think in Texas somewhere, they said, or don't quote me, but there's places in the South where they wanted to put the 10 Commandments in school. And it's like, people lost their shit over it. And it's like, do you not understand the fundamental importance of teaching these 10 Commandments at a very young age? I mean, these are rules for society that people should want to live by, right? How does it offend you that you want children to be taught morals, an ethical foundation on which their personalities will blossom and grow into adults who are going to take over the world one day, you know? And it's like, man, I want children learning that adultery is wrong. I want them learning that you don't steal, you don't kill. You want children to have these values instilled at a very young age, because the younger the mind, the more capacity it has to absorb knowledge. You know, there's children, if we had real good schools in America, you know, we could have bilingual children learning 10 different languages by the time they're 10 years old, because anything that they learn before the age of 5, it's going to stick, man. It's going to stick. Those first 5 years are so important of child development. And it's like, we should be encouraging the Bible in school. I know I never used to think this way. I used to be a free love, hippie, you know, hippie loving Democrat liberal my whole life. And then, you know, it's like, one day I just look back at my life and all the bad decisions that I made, and it's like, no, I shouldn't have been drinking and doing drugs when I was a kid, right? Because when you do that, you're disrespecting your parents. You're breaking the 10 Commandments. You're out as a teen, you're having sex. That's pretty, you know, you're before marriage. That's wrong. Like, there's so many valuable lessons that I feel if the Bible would have been taught in school. I mean, even though I was taught this at home, the school is where your kid's at for 8 hours a day. You know, that's where the indoctrination starts. And it's like, why don't we want these children to be able to have critical thinking, to be able to understand right and wrong, good and bad? This ethical foundation needs to be instilled in younger ages than we have now. You know what I mean? Like, we should want all the young people to have their foot, you know, through the door, because they're climbing the mountain of knowledge. You know, they want to better themselves. We got to do better for the kids. I feel like Jesus Christ, you know, one of the passages in the Bible, there's some little kids are by him, and, you know, the apostles are like, get away from him, oh my God. And Jesus is like, bro, what? No, bring him closer, you know, come here, come to Jesus, you know. And it's like, bring Jesus back, bring him back. Jesus talk, you know. I feel like we all need Jesus in our lives, the good days Not just the good days, not just the bad days, like every day, like appreciation for the life that you have. Like, there's always gonna be people who have less than you, and there's always gonna be people who have more than you. But I think a lot of people in America don't realize there are far more people in the world that have less than you. Right? There's people in the world, like my grandma would say, there's starving kids in Africa. So there's people who sleep in huts. There's people that don't have clean water. You know, they shit in a bucket. They don't even have toilets. They don't have showers. They clean themselves with bottles of water. Water they collect from, you know, a well. There's real people in the world that have it worse than you. 100%. And I guess in this episode of Jesus Talk, be thankful for what you have, man, and start thinking about the kids. We gotta save this generation, because honestly, you know, the boys think they're girls, girls think they're boys. I'm a they, them. Demons refer to themselves as they, them. I don't know if you know that, but they do. So yeah, let's get our shit together. Jesus Talk, episode number 2. Thanks.